Hello, I'm Bluenose LJ. Welcome to another Just for Fun video. In this one, we're going to be looking at my worst, best Everton 11. Now, these aren't necessarily the worst Everton players, they're the worst of the best Everton players that we've had. The ones that should have been boss, but turned out to be dross. Now, before we get into that, just a quick reminder, if you would like to support me and help me raise some money for Everton in the community and other charities, you can do so purely by subscribing to my channel and watching a video. If you would like to find out some more details on that, you can watch this video, which will explain that in a little bit more detail. Okay, so let's get into the worst best Everton 11. Now, in goal, I've started off with Richard Wright. Cost us £3.5 million from Arsenal, was England international, was the next big thing, should have come to Everton and been our number one goalkeeper for a number of years, but ended up just being absolutely diabolical. He ended up playing 60 times for us or something around about that, which was really quite surprising, seeing that he managed to injure himself on a sign that said "Don't train here," and fell out of his own loft and injured his shoulder. He was absolutely terrible for Everton, and definitely rightfully gets in at number one. At right back, I've gone for Mark Hottinger. Now, I doubt very much if many Evertonians will even remember that he played for us. He didn't play many games. I think it was 17 games or something, and he was rubbish. He did score a goal, but he cost £700,000 from Newcastle, and we had to jump through hoops in order to get him a work permit to come and play for us. And I think most Evertonians would wish that he didn't get granted. He was rubbish, but it cost 700,000, and we ended up shipping him off for like 25 grand to his home country. So he goes at right back. Now, at left back, for most Evertonians, I would suggest that this is quite easy. David Burrows, who certainly didn't want to be at this club, and was absolute rubbish. He ended up playing, I think, half a season for us. The worst part of it is that we ended up giving Tony Cottee and £500,000 in order to, and we got David Burrows as part of that deal that took Tony Cottee back to West Ham, and we paid West Ham, and awful. That was one of the worst decisions at this club has ever done. So yeah, he's at left back. Centre back, Per Kaldrup. Now, I don't even know if Per Kaldrup was ever meant to be good, but we signed him for £5 million at a time when we didn't have a huge amount of money. And so £5 million was quite a lot of money. And apparently he couldn't even head a ball. Now, David Moyes, it's reputed to have said that he was really surprised that he couldn't head a ball. So David Moyes, this wasn't a David Moyes signing, quite clearly, but he was absolutely terrible and got butchered by John Carew in his only performance for Everton, and we lost 4-0. And rightfully so, he was shipped out quite soon after that. So Per Kaldrup in the centre of my defence. Now, I've gone partnership. There's quite a few that I could have chosen in centre back, but I've gone for Mangala, and the only reason for that was because he came from Manchester City. He was, he was replacement for our injured players, and he was going to come in and be our center defender. He ended up playing 2 games for us because he got injured and we never saw him again. But in the 2 games that he played, he looked absolutely terrible. So he goes in centre defence alongside Per Kaldrup. You wouldn't want to see that in a partnership, most definitely not. Centre midfield, Alex Nyarko. Not really much more that needs to be said about him. The next, Patrick Vieira, who, completely out of his depth in the centre of the Everton midfield. Don't even know if he ever wanted to be here. Asked for a transfer after he got that little incident with the Everton fan. Ended up coming back and playing again for us, but should never really have been allowed to come back. Terrible midfielder. So quite easy choice there. Now, alongside him, I've gone for Davy Klaassen. Now, I'm probably the same as most Evertonians out there. I really wanted Davy Klaassen to do well. I was actually calling for Davy Klaassen for him to be picked, and let's play Davy Klaassen. Why is he not being picked? Well, the reason why he wasn't being picked was because he was awful for us, and he just ran around like a headless chicken, looked like a schoolboy in a man's game, didn't know what he was doing. He's an international, and he's probably done okay in Germany, but for us, he only played a handful of games, but in every single time that he played, he just looked completely out of his depth and didn't really know what he was doing. The game was far too fast. It was far too physical for him. He just didn't have a clue. So at £23.5 million that we paid for him, he definitely has to go in the centre midfield. I think we something like 13 million pounds back for him, but complete and utter waste of money. On the wing, I've gone Andy van der Meijden. I was actually really pleased when we got him. I thought, this is a really £2 million. This is a really good. It's a bargain. He's going to be awesome for us. Unfortunately, I don't know whether it is about his skill. He clearly had ability, but he obviously had some serious emotional and problems, and I don't really want to go too much into putting somebody down that has problems in that kind of way, but he just didn't do it for us. So I was really disappointed with how that turned out. Got that straight red card against Liverpool for his challenge on Alonso, but clearly blighted by some serious personal problems. On the left, I was torn between 2 players, Aidan McGeady and Yannick Bolasie. Now, both players clearly blessed with skill. I'm not going to, like I say, this is my worst best 11. They are good players, but when it came to Everton, they just didn't do it. McGeady flashes of brilliance and then just disappeared for 89 minutes or so, whatever he managed to play. Cost a fair bit of money as well. Should have been a good player, but just it wasn't. Yannick Bolasie, again, should have been good for us. Showed flashes of brilliance, some good crosses in when Lukaku was there, but just hasn't really been able to put more than 2 games together where he's done anything for us. So rightfully so, he's been shipped out. Amazingly, he's still here, and next season there is a possibility that he may be fighting for a place. But who knows? He may turn out to be a great signing for us one day. I doubt it, but it could very well be next season that he gets to Carlo Ancelotti plays him, and he ends up repaying all of that money that we spent on him, 30 million, 27, 30 million pounds, whatever it was that we ended up paying for him. Personally, I think he should go, but we shall see. I've ended up going for Aidan McGeady just on the basis that Balassi still has a potential, and that's it. Up front, I've gone for Oumar Niasse. Now, again, he's a bit like Davy Klaassen. I really wanted him to do well. He really works hard, and in all fairness, he scored some important goals for us. He actually scored against Liverpool for Hull, which I think most Evertonians are quite pleased about. But I think it's the money that we ended up paying for him, £13 million. And in all fairness, he just never has been good enough. The work rate is there, the heart is there, but the ability probably just not. Or maybe just didn't get the full support and managed to play enough games in order to get some consistency, but probably didn't play those games because he just wasn't good enough. But we'll all have fond memories of Oumar Niasse. And in all fairness, he probably saved Koeman's job at one point. So, that needs to be, I think every Evertonian needs to remember that. What went on with Oumar Niasse, and the way that he came back after the way that he was treated by people at this club. He didn't say a word, came back and fought for Everton. And the only reason why he's in my team is because he just wasn't very good, and the money, but the heart, and he will always go down with me and probably a lot of Everton supporters as somebody that epitomizes what Everton should be all about, and that is some heart and a little bit of respect. And yeah, sorry, I've gone off a little bit on Oumar Niasse, but he deserves recognition for what he went through and what he did. And if some of our players now could have the same kind of heart as what Niasse, and the same kind of determination and loyalty that what he had, they may be a better player for it. Alongside him, I could have gone for quite a few, but I've gone for Sandro Ramirez. £5 million. Everybody was saying what a bargain he was, and he's going to be a superstar. And the £5 million that we've spent on him is going to be, in a couple of years' time, that's going to be looked upon, and you're going to, wow, how amazing that was. Yeah, didn't work. And again, he's gone off to Spain. And I looked at some of the stats for him, and he's played 60 times in Spain on the loans. Again, he's still an Everton player, and we need to get rid of him. He's on some huge wages, so I don't know what's going to happen with him next season. But the stats are that he's played 60 times in Spain. He scored 3 goals. So I don't think we're missing out on much there. Had he gone back to Spain and banged in a load of goals, then it may be a little bit different, and we might be looking at he might come back. But the quicker that Sandro Ramirez is gotten rid of, the better the amount of money that he's costing us each week. We just need to get rid. And so, yeah, he fills my last space in my Everton worst best 11. Let me know who you would pick and whether you agree with me. Who would you have put in? Who would you have left out? Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Like I say, please do support me in trying to raise some money for Everton in the community. And you can do that simply by subscribing and watching a video. And that's all you need to do. I look forward to seeing you on my next video.